All right, time to bring Mr. Gavaskar into the show. Mr. Gavaskar, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the show this evening. Good to have you here on NDTV. First up, the way the Aussies batted on day 5 in Ranchi, it was a throwback, really, wasn't it, to an age when playing for a draw and achieving it were both very big achievements. It still is, really, in some cases. But the way they played, would you say that those two men, Sean Marsh and Peter Handscomb, denied India what was looking like a sure shot win?
Yes, you're absolutely right. I think the way these two batted, they denied India a win, and it was good old-fashioned test match batting. It's a 5-day game, and often I think in the past when teams found that they were not in a position to win, they ensured that they didn't lose. It didn't mean they were playing for a draw from the first ball of the game. It's when you find that you're not in a position to win, then it's better to save the game because you live to fight another day. And that's exactly what the Australians have done. Because if they had lost today, it would have been an uphill climb. Now they have an opportunity to win the series in Dharamshala.
Absolutely. They did whatever they could do best, and that was really, as you mentioned, the best strategy for both Steve Smith and his team. If you were the Indian captain, though, sir, on the field on day 5, would you have done anything differently, perhaps?
Yes, I think I probably would have used Ravichandran Ashwin and brought him on to bowl a little earlier because, to bring him on to bowl just the last over before lunch was a bit hard for somebody who's won you matches, the previous matches against England and in New Zealand. He's been the one who's bowled you to a win. Sure, the pitch was not conducive to too much turn, but I think what Ashwin's got is he's got guile, he's got deception, and I think the harder ball as well would have suited him. By the time he came out to bowl, the ball had gone maybe just a little bit soft, and he wasn't as effective as he otherwise could have been. But that's just a thing that we say in hindsight,
right?
Because we all have the benefit of hindsight. But I think what we really need to see is how well Sean Marsh and Peter Handscomb batted. I think we need to give credit to them more than trying to find fault with Virat Kohli's captaincy.
Absolutely. But I'm glad you brought up Ashwin in a way, sir, because the next question that I wanted to ask was going to be about the other spinner, Ravindra Jadeja. Now, 9 wickets in this match, going by his statistics, 3 5-wicket hauls from the England series to now. Not too many people, very honestly, Mr. Gavaskar, would have expected Jadeja to become an integral member of the Indian Test team, especially as a spinner when he made his Test debut, which was, I think, in 2012 against England. The evolution of Jadeja has been also quite a fascinating tale, hasn't it?
It has been because what has happened is he's grown over the years. I think he hasn't really tried to change too much about his bowling. His accuracy is his biggest plus, and in limited overs cricket perhaps his biggest minus. But what he has done now, he's added a little bit of variety to his bowling in the sense that he's bowling at different speeds now, not at the same speed that he was bowling when he started his Test career. He's also using the crease a little bit. He's got this little round armish kind of delivery that he wants to bowl occasionally. So yes, he's putting a lot of thought in his bowling, and that's why the results are showing. And he and Ashwin make a real deadly pair.
Yes.
It's just one of those days when Ashwin didn't fire. But I suppose, just like we are seeing with Virat Kohli with the bat, Ashwin really hasn't had the best of the series apart from the second innings in Bengaluru.
Right, Jadeja and Ashwin, since you're talking about them, so our next question was also going to be about them. They're both currently joint #1 in the ICC Test rankings as bowlers. And it's great news really for Team India to have two players in the same playing 11. Very healthy competition between the two of them. But who would you say is India's premier spinner currently? Would you say that tag perhaps still belongs to Ashwin?
Oh yes, I think Ashwin clearly is the #1 spinner, and I think even Ravindra Jadeja accepts that Ashwin's the #1 spinner. Jadeja has always seen his job as somebody who will try and contain the batsman at one end, while Ashwin tries to get the wickets at the other end. But now I think he's also grown in confidence, and therefore now you could pretty much say that they're pretty much on par. Not much of a difference between the two of them. But maybe before this series started, I think you would say that Ashwin was just a little bit above Ravindra Jadeja.
Right. What would you say, sir, was the big takeaway for India from the Ranchi test? Would you say perhaps it was Cheteshwar Pujara's monumental 200 and the mind-boggling number of deliveries that he had to face over there?
That, yes, definitely, but also Riddhiman Saha's application, Riddhiman Saha's century. Look, India's batting has really benefited by the fact that you've got somebody like a Ashwin and somebody like a Riddhiman Saha at numbers 6, 7 and 8, depending on whether you play 5 batsmen or 6 batsmen. And then if Ravindra Jadeja can come in and score runs as he has done in this series, scoring a quick fire rapid 50,
right,
then I think it really means that, you know, India should be looking to go back to the old theory of 5 batsmen and 5 bowlers. Clearly, I think with the kind of form that our batsmen have shown, the openers getting a big stand and then getting individual half centuries, Pujara scoring a double hundred, Riddhiman Saha scoring runs down the order, and Jadeja scoring runs down the order. Maybe there's a case if you want to win, because today clearly on the last day of the Ranchi test, India missed a 5th bowler. I'm not saying the 5th bowler would have he would have ripped through the opposition, but he would have given just that little bit of a break for our, you know, hard-working fast bowlers. Both Umesh and Ishant bowled their hearts out. But, you know, in conditions like we had in Ranchi where it was hot, I think they needed shorter bursts, 3 overs, 4 overs maximum. But that wasn't happening simply because we had only 4 bowlers in the team.
Right. Mr. Gavaskar, just about 15 seconds left, sir. Would you agree with Steven Smith? Does the momentum, is the momentum with the Aussies right now, or is it even Stevens in the momentum department as well?
I think the momentum is still with India, because they are the ones who came back after having to bat second and chasing 451, scoring 600 plus. They might not have bowled Australia out in the second innings. The momentum definitely is still with India. And at the end of the day, these momentums and all don't matter much. You know, we saw that after the Bangalore win, we thought India had the momentum. But things didn't go well because Australia scored 450. Right. So what happens on the day is important. The momentum and all that is all very, very good for television and for post-match media conferences.